All right, hi, James Craddock here. I'm going to tell you how we applied story in the creation of Afghanistan on the Bounce. And you see the book there. This is the hardcover book. It's a 225 page or so coffee table book with absolutely beautiful photos, 20,000 photos that this photographer, international photographer Robert L. Cunningham, took in Afghanistan across 2 embedments. And then got with New York Times bestselling author Stephen Hartov, and they created something that literally is magical. And to the service members whom the book honors, they find it to be comforting, they find it to be encouraging, but most importantly, they find it to be the bridge to their loved ones about what they experienced. And about how those 2, 3, 4 years of their life played out overseas, in the military, under fire, whatever the case may be. What we did here, and I will be honest, this is one of my early adaptations of story. This is one of my opportunities to get really close to story itself and the process of creating a story and having it published. Having gone through an actual publisher and having taken 20,000 images and boiled them down to 200 to determine which ones photographically told the most story. This is where a lot of my teeth got cut, right? Being able to find in a single expression between 7 images that were all taken in rapid fire, which one held the most content, the most impact, the most story. And we took those and then we had to lay them out. And we had to create a story arc that represented the theme of what we wanted to get across. And as we did that, then we had to say, well, now we've got to put pen to paper and actually tell a story that could weave its way through this entire story so that we see the military in the light of who these young people, for the most part, are in their minds and in their and in one another's eyes as they go to chow, as they do drills, as they go in and out of the wire and do the daily routines that they did, all the way down to that moment where they have to say goodbye to one of their friends unexpectedly. Powerful book, powerful process, but it made me realize how story can be integrated and is integrated into the fabric of our lives. And when you look at these different soldiers and you look at their lives and what they did and where they are now, as many of them we hear from quite often, you see how story unfolded. You see which ones are still friends with who, and you see how they're still connected. And you really we really got an upfront opportunity through this process to see just how impacting story is in our lives. Hey, you wonder why a good novel, or a good novelist, if you will, becomes famous or writes a book that millions of people read and are touched by. It's because they go through a process to put those words down in such a way that it impacts the very soul, the very spirit, the very fundamental emotional level of humans and connects them. And when they're connected, there is no bond stronger. And so, Afghanistan on the Bounce, boots on the ground with the U.S. military and the International Security Assistance Force, was an opportunity for me to get up front, close and personal with the entire process of putting a book together, going through the publishing process, and even after that through the PR process. And this book has been showcased in National Geographic on Fox News and about 20 other outlets across the internet and television. And to see how that impact can be reverse engineered, story engineer here, right? Reverse engineered and applied to each person. Whether you want to write your own book and leverage it in your business or leverage it to just tell your legend, or whether you want to use it just to get your thoughts out there or to get them on paper in such a way that you can then take and move it to the next stage. I will tell you that as I wrote my books, whether they're the ebooks or published books, that I never fully understood where they were leading to. But through that process, and through the process of telling your story, whatever it may be, It's like therapy. It begins to define who you are, what you are, and where you truly are going. Anyhow, I'm very grateful to the cooperation of Robert and Stephen and those that were involved in this project, that I was able to get a good grip and a handle on story and the process to bring story to life, whether in print or on the web or both, but whatever the case is, in the hearts and minds of other people. That is the story of Afghanistan on the Bounce as it relates to me and my journey of becoming a story engineer.